Does the triple support composition have you ripping your hair out in competitive matches? You're not alone. This rising meta can feel frustrating and unbreakable when you first encounter it. But while this strategy might be strong, it's not invincible. In this guide, we'll show you how to exploit its weaknesses and shut it down. Let's shred the competition. Triple support compositions rely on synergy, sustainability, and defensive ultimates to control the battlefield. It's a strategy built on outlasting opponents and punishing mistakes. This combo can be especially effective against teams that rely heavily on DPS characters, as it can turn battlefield tanks into near impenetrable walls and make securing eliminations feel almost impossible. But for all its strengths, this strategy is also inherently reactive and resource intensive. The biggest challenge with triple support is coordination. Support players must stay perfectly aligned, maintain consistent communication, and adapt quickly when things don't go as planned. A single mistake, whether it's a mistimed ultimate or a gap in positioning, can send the entire strategy into chaos. Unlike other roles where individual heroics can sometimes salvage a bad play, triple support depends on flawless teamwork. One misstep often means disaster. In random online play, this coordination becomes even harder to achieve. Without the synchronized communication, it's challenging to keep the precise timing and positioning that triple support demands. Teams often end up reacting defensively, burning key abilities just to stay alive, which leaves them wide open to aggressive counterplay. Reactive ultimates and cooldown panic are the fastest way to lose momentum, and once the rhythm breaks, it's difficult to recover. Still, when executed well, triple support thrives in prolonged engagements. Defensive ultimates like Guardian Shield can swing entire battles, negating enemy ultimates and keeping the team alive in high-pressure situations. This ability to stabilize under fire gives the composition an edge against chaotic or poorly organized opponents. But let's not forget, supports aren't primarily damage dealers. Their ability to sustain relies entirely on their tanks holding ground and absorbing pressure. If those tanks falter, or if the opponent applies pressure directly to the supports, the whole strategy collapses. Triple support is a powerful tool in the hands of a disciplined and well-coordinated team. But without execution, it's fragile and prone to being outplayed. Let's explore what makes triple support vulnerable and how to exploit those weaknesses. While triple support compositions can be incredibly effective in the right hands, they are far from invincible. Let's break down why this strategy often crumbles under pressure. First, there's the issue of scarcity of resources. Healing is not unlimited, and supports can't restore more health than a player's maximum. When teams face concentrated damage, even the best healers can't always keep up. This limitation becomes glaringly obvious during prolonged engagements where attrition takes its toll, leaving the team exposed and vulnerable. Next, consider tempo issues. Triple support teams often fall behind against aggressive, fast-paced compositions. With little to no dedicated DPS, their ability to deal sustained damage is significantly limited. This makes them especially vulnerable to teams that control the tempo of a match and apply unrelenting pressure. Ultimates build too quickly for the enemy. Defensive ultimates like Invisible Boundary or Guardian Shield are game changers. But these abilities shine best when paired with slower charging AoE attacks from DPS or Vanguard teammates. Prolonged battles, however, give enemies more opportunities to charge their own ultimates, giving them the chance of outpacing the supports and turning the tide against them. Then there's the challenge of coordination. Triple support compositions demand seamless teamwork. A single error in timing, positioning, or communication can create critical gaps for opponents to exploit. Unlike other team setups, Where individual players might carry the match, triple support relies on collective effort. This makes them particularly vulnerable in chaotic or disorganized environments, such as a solo queue matches. Finally, there's lack of pressure. Supports excel at sustaining and protecting their teammates, but they rarely apply the kind of pressure needed to force opponents into defensive positions. The lack of offense capability allows enemy teams to dictate the terms of engagement, positioning triple support teams perpetually on the back foot. These vulnerabilities underline the importance of decisive counterplay. While it's challenging to execute this strategy effectively, some teams manage to do it well. That's why it's essential to understand which heroes excel at dismantling triple support. Let's dive into the counters that can turn the tide in your favor. To conquer the triple support meta, you need heroes that exploit its weaknesses. Here are your go-to counters. Iron Man, the ultimate counter to triple support. His range damage and ability to farm supports make him nearly unstoppable. While vulnerable to skilled DPS players, Iron Man's powerful AoE ultimate lets him deliver consistent high damage output from a safe distance. In higher ranked matches, he's often banned due to his dominance against grouped enemies. Counterplay exists, but a skilled Iron Man is a formidable challenge. Squirrel Girl. With high burst damage and AoE pressure, Squirrel Girl thrives against clustered supports. Her ultimate can snowball fights, forcing supports to scatter or face massive damage. Keep your distance and target supports to break their formation. For more strategies, check out our ultimate guide on Squirrel Girl. Hawkeye, a precision hero who excels at pressuring group supports. His accuracy and range allow him to eliminate key targets, shattering their formation. Even disrupting one support can shift the battle's momentum. Hawkeye's consistent pressure makes him one of the most reliable counters. Wolverine, a master at isolating tanks. Wolverine disrupts strategies by pulling frontline targets out of position. His agility and burst damage create openings for teammates to exploit, making him a significant threat to support heavy compositions. Invisible Woman. Often part of the triple support meta, Invisible Woman also counters it effectively. Her psionic vortex disrupts formations, and her shields sustain her team during high pressure moments. Strategically using her force abilities can dismantle coordinated strategies. Moon Knight. Stealth and mobility make Moon Knight a nightmare for triple support. He flanks undetected, takes out vulnerable targets, and escapes before retaliation. His unpredictability and burst damage make him a valuable counter. Other notable mentions include Magneto paired with Cloak and Dagger for disruption and Psylocke for precise eliminations. These heroes provide the tools to dismantle even the strongest triple support strategies. Beating triple support isn't just about picking the right heroes, it's about playing smart and adapting your strategy on the fly. Here are some crucial tips to help you dismantle even the most coordinated triple support teams. Target priority. Focus on supports first. Healers are the backbone of the triple support composition. Eliminating them breaks the team's sustain, leaving tanks vulnerable and forcing the team into a defensive position. Coordinate with your team to ensure focused fire on key healers. Once supports are eliminated, the rest of the composition falls apart. Clear and efficient targeting disrupts their ability to maintain pressure and keeps your team in control. Ultimate timing. Use ultimates strategically to counter theirs. For instance, drop Invisible Woman's boundary at a critical moment to nullify their defensive plays. Timing is key. A well-placed AoE or burst ultimate can shatter their formation and overwhelm their limited healing capacity. Be patient and avoid wasting ultimates on minor skirmishes. Wait for group supports to maximize your impact. Positioning. Leverage terrain to your advantage. Use choke points to trap enemies and follow up with crowd control or rooting abilities. This restricts their movement and makes it harder for supports to stay within healing range of their allies. Exploit natural barriers to isolate key targets, block healing fields, or force unfavorable positioning. Strategic use of the map can completely upend their coordination. Communication. Just as triple support thrives on teamwork, so should your strategy. Keep communication clear and concise. Call out targets, coordinate abilities, and adapt to the flow of the battle. If voice chat isn't an option, use pings to direct attention to critical areas or enemies. A well-coordinated team can easily dismantle even the most structured defensive setups. Apply relentless pressure, force mistakes by attacking from multiple angles and spreading out damage. This overloads their limited resources and prevents them from regrouping effectively. Sustained aggression keeps them on the defensive, ensuring they can't fully execute their game plan. Map awareness. Triple support teams often rely on specific areas, such as choke points or high ground, to maximize their healing radius. Deny them these advantages by controlling the map and dictating where engagements occur. Force fights in open areas where they're more exposed to burst damage and flanking attacks. Proactive map control is a decisive factor in breaking their strategy. By combining these strategies with the right heroes, you can systematically dismantle even the most disciplined triple support teams. Remember, victory isn't about hero selection, but also about executing your game plan with precision. Stay aggressive, play smart, and expose the cracks in their armor. With persistence, even the strongest triple support composition can be defeated. Facing the triple support meta can be intimidating, but with the right heroes, strategies, and teamwork, it's far from insurmountable. Another reminder, every strategy has its vulnerabilities waiting to be exploited. Equip yourself with the knowledge and tactics we've discussed, and you'll be ready to turn the tide in your favor. Before we wrap up, don't miss out on the Marvel Rivals Spring Festival event running from January 23rd to February 14th. Dive into the limited time Clash of Dancing Lions mode, where you can engage in thrilling 3v3 matches featuring heroes like Black Widow, Iron Fist, and Star-Lord. Participate in the Fortune and Colors event to earn the exclusive Lions main skin for Star-Lord by collecting Danquing through the event missions and challenges. For an in-depth look at the Spring Festival event and the latest Marvel Rival leaks, check out our video on screen now. If you found this guide helpful, please like, subscribe, and share for more in-depth breakdowns and tips. Let's conquer this meta together.